There is only one way to end the genocide in Gaza. It is not through bilateral negotiations. Israel has amply demonstrated, including with the assassination of the lead Hamas negotiator, that it has no interest in a permanent ceasefire. The only way for Israel's genocide of the Palestinians to be halted is for the U.S. to end all weapons shipments to Israel. And the only way this will take place is if enough Americans make clear they have no intention of supporting any presidential ticket or any political party that supports genocide. This does not mean that we do not have a choice in this presidential race. We do. The arguments against a boycott of the two ruling parties are sadly familiar. It will ensure the election of Donald Trump. Kamala Harris has rhetorically shown more compassion than Joe Biden. There are not enough of us to have an impact. We can work within the Democratic Party. The Israel lobby, especially the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC, which owns most members of Congress, is too powerful. Negotiations will eventually achieve a cessation of the slaughter. In short, we are told in election cycle after election cycle that we have no power, that we must surrender our agency to sustain a project of mass killing. We must accept as normal governance the shipment of hundreds of millions of dollars in military aid to facilitate the genocide, the use of vetoes at the UN Security Council to protect Israel, and the active obstruction of international efforts to end mass murder. We have no choice. And why we are now, I think, facing a moral imperative to step outside the system. Dr. Jill Stein from the Green Party and independent candidate Cornel West are vocal critics of not only the apartheid state of Israel and the mass slaughter in Gaza, but the U.S. war machine.
We want people to know that the crises that face us in virtually every dimension of our lives are actually solvable. This can be done right now by cutting the military budget, by using other efficiencies we can actually afford. By declaring a climate emergency, we actually unleash over $500 billion emergency funding that can be used to create good, high-quality union jobs right now while creating this emergency transition to phase out fossil fuels and provide the sustainable energy, transportation, housing, and agriculture. So there's a whole lot of jobs to be created. There's a whole economy to be revived. We can do this. And in fact, starting on day one, even without congressional action, the president alone can declare the climate emergency and unleash well over $500 billion to start dealing with this. Medicare for All actually saves us money. It doesn't cost us money. Our job now, once the ballot access is behind us, is to get the word out. And I want to encourage people to go to JillStein2024.com and join the team. Make a contribution if you can, or just sign up and volunteer. Because at the end of the day, this is about us, especially on social media, getting the word out. It's about, politics 101 is all door knocking, it is phone banking, and it is tabling. Because a lot of Americans are not going to vote. They are not going to drink the Kamala Kool-Aid, and they're certainly not voting for Donald Trump. And they're left, they're basically left holding the bag. So we want to get out, especially to disenfranchised voters, and let people know, to the students, to all the opponents of genocide who are basically boycotting this election. There are so many people who are boycotting because neither party is meeting our needs in the least. So just by getting the word out, we want to show that we are strong, we are here. Every vote cast for our campaign is a vote against genocide. It is a vote for to dismantle the empire and to use those resources here at home for what is absolutely critical in our lives. Every vote is a shot across the bow that we're here, we're getting organized, we're not going to be intimidated, we are not going away. When we see a genocide rolling out with the incredible ferocity, the blood and the gore of the daily massacres, this is what the future looks like. The U.S. is no longer the dominant power in the world, but it thinks that it is. It is still behaving like it is a monopolar world ruled by the U.S. We are brewing nuclear conflict in at least 3 areas around the world right now. This militarism is impoverishing us and it is endangering all of us. You do not have a nuclear conflict anywhere that doesn't go into the upper atmosphere and create a nuclear winter, which, can end civilization with the exchange of, a modest number of moderate-sized, so-called tactical nuclear weapons. Our leaders are absolutely criminal in this regard as well. So